Hello and welcome to CKE 10,000 Wins Gaming Channel. In this video we'll look at my Weiss Schwarz Lycoris Recoil deck profile. It's the gate door build, blue-red. So we'll start at level 0s. I'm running 2 copies of Send Off Music Key. When this card is placed on stage from your hand or put into the waiting room, you may pay 1 discard card. If you do, search deck for a character. Running 4 copies of Let's Hang Out Chisato. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this card to an open position of your center stage, and when this card is put into the waiting room from the stage, you can pay 1, take a hit. If you do, choose a character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Running 2 copies of Drunk Waitress Mizuki. When this card is placed on stage, choose one of your opponent's characters in the center stage to minus 1,000 power, and when it is sent to the waiting room from the stage, you may discard a card. If you do, look at top 4 to grab a level 1 or higher card. 3 copies of the Brainstormer. Walnut's Identity Kurumi. When you play a climax, you can look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck and put them on top of their deck in any order, and it is a salvage Brainstormer. 3 copies of First Licorice Fuki. When your character direct attacks, choose one character in your opponent's center stage, and that character gets minus 1,000 power. And you can activate, put this card into your clock, look at top 4 cards of your deck, choose one character, and add it to your hand. Running 2 copies of the Climax Swapper. It also has a second effect, which is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, if your opponent has 1 or less characters in their center stage, you may choose one who's cost 0 or lower character in your opponent's center stage and put it to the bottom of their deck. 4 copies. I'm running 4 copies of Chosen Place of Belonging Takina. During your turn, if all your characters are Rico or weapon, this gets plus 2,000 power. And when your other character is frontal attack, you can pay 1, put this card in the waiting room, return that character to hand. 4 copies of the low 1 combo, Partners Chisato and Takina. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, if you have another Rico weapon character, this card gets plus 2,000 power. When this card attacks, if Mismatch Duel is in your climax area, and you have 2 or more other characters, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your waiting room, choose it to 1 level X or lower character in your waiting room, return it to your hand, look up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, and put them on top of your deck in any order. X equals to the total level of the cards put into your waiting room by this card's effect. Running 2 copies of Valuing People's Lives Chisato. The character facing this card gets 2 Encore, and when this card attacks, if you have a climax in a climax area, reveal top card of your deck. If it's 1 or higher, put it into your stock. 1 backup. Just a change punish backup for discarding 2 cards. 1 of the level 2 Place to Meet Music Key. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, pitch a card. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 climax in their waiting room, return all cards from their deck except that card, and shuffles their deck. And when this card becomes reversed, if this battle opponent is 2 or lower, you may reverse that character. Running 1 copy of this backup, memory backup. 2 copies of this early play assist for 1,000. Early play healer. You need, and it gets power if this is in the waiting room. 1 copy of Cafe Rico Kurumi. When this card is placed on stage for hand, choose one of your following effects and perform it. Your opponent returns all cards from their stock to their deck, shuffles, and puts the same amount back. And you may choose one of your opponent's characters and return it to their hand. Then for the finishers, I'm running 3 copies of the Days That'll Continue on Takina, and 4 copies of Days That'll Continue on Chisato. So 3 copies of this. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may heal 1, and when Days Spent Together is placed on your climax area, if this card is in your center stage, you may pay the cost, which is put 1 Days That'll Continue on Chisato from your hand face up underneath this card as a marker. If you do, all your other characters get plus 3,000 power and the following ability until end turn. When this card attacks, put the top card of your opponent's deck into your waiting room. If that card is level 0 or lower, deal 1 damage to them. And then Days That'll Continue on Chisato. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you may salvage character, and this ability activates up to once per turn at the end of this card attack. If Days Spent Together is in your climax area, and you have 2 or more other Rico characters, you may pay the cost. Pitch 3, discard a card. If you do, stand this card. And for the climaxes, I'm running 4 copies of Mismatch Duel, which is your level 1 combo, and 4 copies of Days Spent Together, but alternate arts. So 2 of Chisato, and 2 of Takina. Alright, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, check EncoreDecks.com in the link and description below to see an overview of this deck build.